Here it is, finally, after 2 weeks, we finally get episode 19 of Apothecary Diaries in the second season. And Lord knows I've been waiting on it. It's just like, oh my Lord, last week I was like, what am I gonna do with myself? We finally get what we want. And this time around, things are escalating for sure. It was one thing that Maomao was like, with Shisui, Suirei, and all this, but now, yeah, there's a sword to their necks. Maomao might be in a little bit of trouble here, but that's how Maomao rolls. She goes around trying to investigate. They didn't even lock the door behind them, but it is what it is. Although the first half of the episode was mainly for the whole and kind of giving us the results of the fact that most of the people in this village are coming from the people of the West, and wherever the people that came from the West that went to the capital and or to this village, it seems like they're all from the same area because the color blindness is following along. It's a joy to see Maomao as this type of character because it was funny to see how she got what she wanted. She got her cake and eat it too. The fact that here she is, she wanted the resurrection medicine, and then they finally delivered, and there's stacks upon stacks of notes. And oh man, that's exactly what Maomao wants. That be able to research something new that she doesn't already know about. And then of course she's like, test it on me. Let's figure it out. I love seeing when she does that because, she's just such a great character that I love her interactions, and when she kind of gets into those funny moods and funny modes. Whenever there's medicine and testing involved, you can be sure that Maomao is definitely going to be first one to be like, I'm willing to test. We know how bad her arm is scarred from her own previous test that she's done herself. But let's get into the nitty gritty of this episode. One thing that I was looking at was Shisui and how she was interacting. At first it was like, okay, Shisui's kind of trying to have like a good time with Maomao, which of course if you're a hostage and your captives are being nice to you, it's kind of be like a little weird, like, okay. But one thing I noticed in this episode, there's something going on with Shisui where, to me, it seems like, is Shisui leaving? Is she going away? Is she going back to become her role as concubine Lao Lan? Because first things first, she was going off saying, hey, can I have this hairpin that is yours? As if she wants a keepsake of Maomao's. And of course, Maomao's like, no. But then the next day, as she's doing her hair, and then all of a sudden she's like, yeah, this hairpin you have is actually pretty valuable, with the craftsmanship and stuff. So of course she can't have it. So it's like she gives Maomao something that is of hers, giving her hairpin. So in the way that she kept doing her hair and kept like touching her hair as she's about to leave, and the way she was talking, it made me believe that Shisui is figuring like her time is up. So it's like, is she trying to, like, what is she trying to do? Is she planning to leave? Planning to go back? Planning to face the music? So it just kind of was a little weird in that moment, but it's definitely something to think about. And of course, how Shisui was explaining to Maomao what has happened to her past, how she would be hit with boiling water if she got a lesson wrong. Those are some harsh lessons, which is probably why she is so good at such a young age in all these different aspects of things that triggered Maomao to be like, how do you know so much? And how do you know about this, that? How are you a good writer as far as with her notation, almost scientific notations to these bugs? Of course, we know it's because she's been practicing to be concubine Lao Lan, but these harsh lessons to learn quickly, yeah, I kind of probably would learn things pretty quickly if I was going to get doused with boiling water if I got something wrong. So it's like, yeah, you're going to learn this now, or are you going to get scarred for life? So it's like, oh, I think I'll be a quick learner. That's just me. But let's go into who we probably see now is finally the mastermind behind everything. So here it is, Lady Shim Mei was, of course, the first time that we've seen her, aside from the fact that, they show her on the main theme song, but that doesn't really count. because, you know, they're covered up with the mask and stuff. But it seems like this is the woman that's been behind everything now that we've clued in with the guns, the thieves, FIFAs, whatever you want to call them, but essentially the guns, and then of course medicine testing. There's definitely something here. They did a very good job introducing this character that we know nothing about. We know that she is no nonsense, as she is about to go off on someone and be like, why was this door unlocked? Why was it wide open? And then she's like, okay, all right. No, it's perfectly fine. And then just grabs a sword and just finds Maomao and such and intimidates them with the sword. So we know just from that one scene, this is a character not to be messing with, especially with the fact that people are fearing her, especially the little boy. If I had to guess, she probably is the woman that was given to Shisui's father, and it's probably the mother, the one that did the whole boiling water and such, just by her demeanor. And yeah, it's probably the one that we've been talking about previously that is tying everything together. And it seems like she definitely has an axe to grind. More, I would say that she's probably behind everything. Maybe she doesn't like the way that she was kind of ousted and given away. Or maybe she feels kind of like some of the other women in the palace, thinking that they're more high-minded or should be better. Regardless, we'll definitely learn more about her, I would assume, in the coming episodes, because now that Maomao is meeting her, yeah, we're definitely going to learn next week what is her deal, if not learn why everything's happening in the first place, and how things are tied together between Suirei and Shisui. And that's probably why they have been being nice to Maomao. I would imagine Shisui and Suirei have been nice to Maomao as a hostage because they probably didn't want Maomao to meet her because they know how she is. But of course, Maomao gets into trouble and gets where she wants to go as far as investigations are concerned. So yeah, it was only inevitable that they would meet up like this. This is definitely going to be a turning point for Maomao, as she's in hot water, to turn a phrase, and gonna be a lot harder for Maomao to kind of get back. I'm sure there's gonna be some way something's gonna happen. There's gonna be some break in the case to where Jinshi can find Maomao, or at least know where Maomao is at. But the key is what's gonna be the clue. Is Shisui gonna be like sad that Maomao's in this predicament and kind of give hints to Jinshi or turn herself in? Or is Jinshi gonna find somebody messing up somewhere where he comes to save the day? Because Lord knows the resolution to all this, when it does resolve, is definitely gonna bring Maomao and Jinshi's relationship closer. Because no matter whom you are, especially as a female, any person that you might, think is a friend, becomes that knight in shining armor to save the day, yeah, that's gonna bring the relationship way closer. So, as they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Yeah, they're definitely gonna be absent, all right, for the time being. So when they get back together, it's probably gonna not be Maomao considered as a toy anymore, and probably make Jinshi really adore Maomao even more so. And maybe even Maomao herself will stop the hurdle of seeing Jinshi as a nuisance to kind of being someone that she kind of is like, okay, because they already admit, Maomao already has admitted that he's good looking and such, but, just because someone's good looking doesn't necessarily mean you like them. So we shall see how the relationship changes in the future. Anyway, great episode. I'm looking forward to these next ones because I have no clue how things are turning out. I'm just kind of giving my own guesstimation as far as with everything, but I'm still at the edge of my seat as each episode comes out. And thank God we don't have to wait anymore. Anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Please, no spoilers, but make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe if you're new here, because I'd definitely love to hear you guys' input as we both guess how things are going to turn out and kind of, make some conclusion statements. Anyway, you guys be safe. You take care, and Lord willing, I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.